You know, when most of us think of A Midsummer Night's Dream, we think of one of Shakespeare's lightest, most fun romantic comedies, right? It's all about fairy magic, goofy lovers, and, of course, a happy ending. But what if all that laughter is actually just a brilliant disguise for something, well, something a lot more unsettling? Let's get into it.
Now, this quote is imagined, but it captures a powerful idea that Shakespeare himself is telling us he buried some pretty difficult truths right inside the comedy. The message is pretty clear. Underneath all the fun, this play is asking some seriously tough questions about love, about society, and about what we choose to forget.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to peek behind that curtain of laughter and journey into the play's hidden depths. We're going to try to figure out what this beloved comedy is really trying to tell us about ourselves.
Okay, let's start with the big one, love. Because Shakespeare doesn't just show us love as this pure, stable force. Oh no. He basically puts the entire concept on trial, asking whether that feeling of absolute certainty is really just a beautiful, fragile illusion.
And this is the first huge puzzle the play just throws in our lap. I mean, the lovers are 100% convinced of their feelings 1 minute, and the next, they're 100% convinced of the exact opposite. So if love is that unstable, where on earth does that powerful feeling of knowing you're right come from?
Well, the scholar Harold Bloom has a fascinating take on this. He says that certainty isn't proof that you've found the perfect person. It's actually a symptom of your own desire. It's not about them, it's about you. Your own mind wants something so badly that it just convinces itself it's found its destiny.
And you can see this disconnect so clearly in the play. On the one hand, you have the lovers using all this epic language, forever, destiny, truth. But on the other hand, their actions tell a totally different story. Their feelings flip in an instant, with zero memory of the eternal devotion they were talking about 2 minutes ago.
Now, it's really tempting to just blame Puck and his magic flower for all this chaos, but the play kind of nudges us to ask a much more uncomfortable question. Was the magic really the cause, or did it just shine a spotlight on a weakness, a vulnerability to self-deception that was already there?
And, a lot of scholars agree. The magic isn't the problem. It's just a catalyst. It's an accelerant. The forest doesn't corrupt these lovers, it just reveals who they are when the rules are gone. It shows us how easily they're willing to just toss aside yesterday's convictions.
And this gets to a really powerful idea. That feeling of being in love feels so real because it's fast. It's an instant gut feeling that just zooms past doubt, logic, or even what you thought yesterday. And once that speed starts to feel like truth, good luck trying to slow that train down.
So let's zoom out a little. This chaos isn't just happening inside their heads. It starts to ripple out and affect their entire world. What happens when the rules and the reason that hold society together just decide to take a nap?
See, the forest in this play isn't just a bunch of trees. You gotta think of it more like a concept. It's a temporary anything-goes zone, where the normal rules of society just don't apply. It's a classic comedy move. You need a little chaos before you can have renewal.
But here's the tension, right? Is this rule-free zone a wonderful gift, a chance to be truly free? Or is it actually a really dangerous place where people become irresponsible, unmoored, and even cruel? The play never gives us an easy answer on that one.
And this might be one of the most unsettling ideas in the whole play. We love to think that if we could just get away from all of society's rules, our true self would finally emerge. But Shakespeare suggests something completely different. That maybe without those guardrails, we don't have a stable self at all. Maybe we just become reactive, bouncing from one impulse to the next.
It's almost as if Shakespeare, the playwright, is saying he just ran an experiment. He created this chaos just to see what would happen. And he refuses to judge the results. He doesn't tell us if it's better to find something that holds you together or to find out there was nothing there in the first place.
So after all that chaos, we get our big, happy ending. Everyone ends up married to the right person and all is well. But wait a minute. Is that happy ending really earned? Or does it only work because of a very convenient and maybe even dangerous act of forgetting?
This is where the comedy itself becomes so important. The laughter makes us forgive how cruel and ridiculous these characters are. But is it really forgiveness, or is it more like a moral anesthetic, as one scholar called it? It doesn't heal the wounds, it just numbs us to the pain so we can move on to the happy ending.
This is the question that just hangs over that final act. The sun comes up, order is back, everything is fine. But did anyone actually learn anything? Are any of them wiser after their night of total madness?
And the tough answer seems to be nope. The happy ending is only possible because they basically have amnesia.
They remember it all as just a weird dream. The goal here isn't wisdom or personal growth. It's about smoothing things over to get the social order back up and running. They get happiness, but without any of the growth.
And you get the feeling this was a very deliberate choice by Shakespeare. He gave his characters peace. He didn't give them answers, because sometimes real answers are just too messy to fit into a neat and tidy comic ending.
And this, right here, this is the absolute key. It's a point Harold Bloom makes beautifully. The lesson in this play isn't for the characters on stage. They get to forget and move on. The lesson is for us. We're the ones who are supposed to grow.
Think about that. This distinction is everything. He gives his characters the mercy of amnesia because, hey, life has to go on. But he doesn't give that same mercy to us, the audience. We don't get to forget. We are meant to remember how unstable love can be, how fragile order is, and how easily laughter can cover up some ugly truths.
Which brings us to one final lingering idea, a thought that the play basically passes from the stage directly into our laps. Of course the play has to end. The curtain has to fall. But those unsettling questions it raised about love, about identity, about memory, well, those don't just magically disappear with the final bow.
And in the end, that's the final twist. Shakespeare doesn't give us the answers. He gives us the questions. And after all the laughter has faded, we're the ones left to wrestle with them. That question? Well, that question now belongs to you.